Chapter 1. An Indecent Proposal. Slumped over the polished wood counter of your favorite bar, the copper crown, you've been having a rough day. You rub your face, and your reflection glances back at you. Let's see about customizing our look. The day might be rough, but at least your hair looks great. Red one's not bad. Those are all your choices. We'll just go with the chestnut, though. That's me. Just going with the default. Sky. Wildman. You glare down at the piece of paper in your hands. Your favorite bartender, Shelley, slides another soda in front of you and gives you a sympathetic look. Honey, you look like someone just killed your puppy. What's wrong? Take a look at this nightmare. Medical invoice. Ah, yes. That number is right. You slide the paper across the counter. Shelley takes one look, and her eyebrows hit her hairline. You owe the hospital 27 grand. That's nothing. And that's just the treatment cost for this month. Having a chronic illness isn't cheap. You don't have insurance? But your job... The theater's too small, too broke to give employees benefits. Some weeks I'm lucky to get my paycheck. If I didn't have to hustle to pay these bills, then I'd be... searching for true love. From what I've seen, you've done your fair share of searching already. Well, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs, right? But someday, someone will just click, and we'll both know. You let out a heavy sigh as you slump back against the bar. But I don't have time for that now. Not when I'm gonna be working my ass off to pay off debt for 1,000 years. How the hell have you been affording this? I'm still on my parents' insurance, but only until I'm 26 and I turn 27 tomorrow. Happy birthday to me, alright? A few seats down from you, a stranger looked up. A stranger who's clearly been listening to your conversation. A very attractive stranger. Whoa, who's that? This is a single love interest book, so be sure to choose someone who makes your heart race. We got number 1, number 2. Let's see the options. Now let's look at the male options. Guess face number 1, right? The stranger leans over to you, captivating eyes on yours. I apologize, but I couldn't help but overhear. Oh, he's English. I'm a sucker for a posh English accent. Shit, when it's attached to eyes I could drown in. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Healthcare in this country is utter bollocks. It's not your fault, unless the medical industrial complex in disguise. Not the last time I checked, just a sympathetic stranger in a strange land. Not that I'll be here for much longer. I've just lost my work visa today. You scan the stranger. His suit is impeccable, a little undone at the neck. Clearly, he's just come from the office. You just got fired? I quit. Strangely enough, he smiles when he says that. Bartender, can I get another scotch neat and a drink for my new friend here? What would you like? Wine? Beer? Italian soda. I don't drink. Shelley puts a glass of scotch down in front of the stranger and your favorite soda in front of you, and the stranger lifts his glass. We should toast to the occasion. Care to do the honors? Let's toast to meeting new friends. Your eyes meet the stranger's, and he smiles a wry smile that makes your heart beat faster. New friends indeed. Cheers. You clink your glasses and drink. The stranger gives you a sidelong grin. I should introduce myself if I'm going to barge in on your day like this. I'm August. Nice to meet you, August. I'm Sky. Something I was wondering, though, Sky. What did you do? What did you say you did for a living again? I'm a manager of a small non-profit theater. Say here in the States, if health insurance is tied to your job, and you've got a chronic condition, why didn't you pick a job with insurance attached, or change careers to something more lucrative so you can afford to buy your own, like I have? Oh, it's not that simple. Actually, good jobs are hard to find. You look like somebody who's had cushy jobs before, am I right? I suppose cushy is as good as a descriptor as any, although keep in mind I have exactly 0 jobs at the moment. So, what made you walk away? That's a long story. Just rest assured that I am not judging you. In fact, I completely understand following your dreams. Yeah, so I'm a broke artist. You work in, let me guess, law? Finance, actually. Even worse. Don't lump me in with the obnoxious finance bros, you know? Remember I quit today? Yeah, about that. If you're so curious why don't I work a job with benefits, what made you give up yours? My friend has a dream, and I'm going all in on it with him. It's worth it. But he can't sponsor my visa, and if I don't find a way to stay in the country, I'll have to go back to England. August takes a long sip of his whiskey, and you can't help but notice his gorgeously long eyelashes. So, I guess we're both, as we Americans say, SOL. He laughs a little and stops as if lightning bolt has suddenly hit him. He slams his drink down on the counter and it spills a little with the force. You gave me an idea, a brilliant, mad idea. Maybe we are both SOL, but maybe we aren't. He turns to you, and he's got a wild grin on his face and a gleam in his eyes that both worries and excites you. Let's get married. You stare at him, expecting him to laugh and say it's a joke, but he doesn't. Marry a total stranger. Tell me more. I'm not proposing a real marriage, it'd just be a civil ceremony. I've got private health insurance, you've got citizenship, we could both get where we want. That's not exactly the marriage I've dreamed of. It wouldn't be permanent. Once everything is secure, we'd divorce, shake hands, go our own ways. It's crazy, but it would solve my problem. Admit it. It would work. Give him a long, appraising look. I don't know anything about you. You could be a serial killer. I don't want to be the subject of a true crime podcast anytime soon. I swear I'm not a murderer. Look, you can search my social media. My last name's Holmes, my family's in Oxford, I was born in London, and I have a lot of savings and great health insurance. Until you meet American costs. He pulls out his phone and taps it briefly, showing you what appears to be a very comprehensive benefits package. He just has that at the ready. Full medical coverage, any specialties you need, dental too, if you're interested. And then I'd help you stay in the country with a marriage visa? Just a little immigration fraud between strangers? It wouldn't be fraud if we did it properly. Share a flat, attend social functions, maintain appearances. And what about immigration surprise visits? I've thought of that. We'd need shared bills, joint accounts, photos together. We'd just have to put in some effort, but the payoff would be worth it. You're telling me you came up with all this in the last 5 minutes? I like a strategy. It's why I'm good at my job. Look, I know it's unorthodox. That's one word for it. But what are the other options we have? You end up dead, I end up back in the UK. He slides his business card across the bar, the expensive paper catching the afternoon light. Just think about it, and if you decide you want to give it a go, I'll be here later tonight. We can talk it over. Hey, I'm gonna be here later for an early birthday celebration. Well, then it's fate. I mean, what have you got to lose? Your time. You gather your things, slipping his card into your pocket, despite yourself being headed out the door. That's it. He's insane. Really hot, but insane. A few hours later, you step into your parents' living room. It hasn't changed since you were a kid, even though it's been years since you lived here. I'm not late for dinner, am I? Your mother rushes out to give you a hug, as cheerful as ever. Oh, there's my birthday girl. The meatloaf's still in the oven, sweetie, and you got some mail. Beth, let her get in the door first. Your dad's perpetual grumpy turns sunny for a moment as he gives you a big hug too. Your sister grins and high-fives you. She's 3 years younger and has always looked up to you. Hey sis, still on for your birthday party later tonight? You know it, Winter. Very original names. I can't wait to meet Spring, Summer, and Ground. Your mom shovels through a stack of envelopes on the table before passing them over to you. A stack of envelopes, let me guess. More bills. More medical bills. Fantastic. Oh, now don't you worry about those. I know you're not going to be on insurance anymore, but your mother and I... Dad, don't go into debt for me. Don't tell me not to help my family. You may all be all grown up, but you're still our daughter. But it's so much money. I know you guys can't afford. Let us worry about that. Your father's right, hon. We're all in this together. Yeah, if they go bankrupt, it'll be my fault. No more serious talk. We're celebrating this guy's birthday. Just be careful tonight, alright? All that bar hopping makes me nervous. Oh, please. Says the man who met my mom at the Rusty Nail. Oh, the Rusty Nail. Those were the days. Haven't you learned yet? Do as I say, not as I do. Besides, that was different. I had intentions. Yeah, intentions to impress Mom with your awful dancing. As your dad goes to help your mother with dinner, Winter leads you upstairs to her bedroom. You got lucky there. I thought you were in for another behave yourself lecture. It's weird how they're more protective of me than you, even though you're the younger one. Yeah, well, after you got diagnosed junior year of high school, I have lupus. It doesn't mean I'm made of glass. Sometimes it can mean, though. But you were so sick back then. None of us ever wanted to see you like that again. Yeah, well, that sucked, but I'm glad my family's here for me. I'm fine now, as long as I keep on the treatment. It's made me stronger, at least. Oh, boy, this place close to home, if you know me. Anyway, it's fine as long as I'm on the treatment. But can't your treatment be kind of hard on you sometimes? Yep. So what if it is? I'm alive, happy, working, right? My disease isn't who I am. It's just something I have to deal with. Mom and Dad are just worried that you're going to stop treatment now, that you can't be on their insurance. Hell no. I'm not letting my haywire immune system attack my body just because our country's healthcare system sucks. I'm going to find a way to pay for my immunosuppressant therapy, trust me. You know what? You sound so confident. I actually believe you. I just wish I believed myself. But enough medical talk. Time to make you early birthday party perfect. She opens her closet and pulls out a pair of stunning outfits. You're going to be the center of attention tonight, so you'll want to look good. No, wait, you'll want to look better than good. After all, you never know when you're going to run into someone hot. Your mind drifts to the man you met at the bar earlier. I wonder if he'll be there tonight like you said. And he needs a visa, clearly. He could be outside all day in the rain and he needs a visa. Besides, I picked these out just for you, so you have to wear one of them. Oh my god, we have a choice of outfits, everybody. Brace yourself. The star of the show, Birthday Burgundy. Cute and casual. This one's non-diamond. Okay, star of the show, it's a nice dress, same color as the burgundy though. What's the difference in cost? 8 diamonds, wow. Okay. Yes, you're gonna look incredible. You quickly get changed in your new look and Winter openly gapes when you step out to show her. I take it you're a fan? Looking like that, I don't think anyone will be able to take their eyes off you. This is the goal. The two of you take your time getting ready, fixing your makeup and adjusting your hair when suddenly Winter pipes up. What's this? You turn to see her holding August's business card, which has seemingly slipped out of your pocket, and you quickly snatch it back. Oh, just something some guy gave me in a bar. I don't even know what he was selling. But before she can ask another question, your mother's voice comes echoing from downstairs. Girls, dinner's ready! Oh, come on. We need to carb load if this party is gonna last all night. Your sister heads out the door, but you pause looking down at the business card in your hand. The conversation sure was weird, but that guy was so cute. There's an electric charge in the air as you and your friends stumble into the Copper Crown, riding the high of your birthday night. You, Winter, and your theater friends Jen and Gregory have hit a dessert bar and a drag show, but nobody's ready to go home yet. Okay, birthday girl needs some birthday shots. Jen, stop. You know Sky doesn't drink. Yeah, booze and meds don't mix. So, why do you hang out at this bar so much? Because the jukebox is unparalleled and Shelly gives me free mocktails when I've had a rough day. Speaking of mocktails, anybody want to get us some drinks? I'll go. This round's on me. You walk towards the bar. What money? Cringing a little internally. Why do I offer to buy a round? I've gotta save money. I'll need every penny for my treatment. It's also your birthday. I guess that means nights out are gonna be few and far and in between from now on. Hello there, birthday girl. Good to see you again. How did you know it was her birthday? August slides in the seat at the bar next to you. His jacket is a little more rumpled, but he's just as hot as he was earlier today. You didn't tell me you were gonna be a fashion model on the side. You didn't tell me you were gonna give cheesy compliments. That makes us even. August's mouth quirks up in a small smile. So you're back. I'm back. The question is, have you been thinking about my proposal? Is that why you're here? I told you this afternoon I'm here with my friends for my birthday. So I just wanted to hear you out. So, you have been thinking about what I suggested? It's hard not to, because it's totally bonkers. I don't normally get proposed to at first sight. It kind of stinks in one's head. Or sticks. I can see that. I don't normally propose to people at first sight either. But I'm glad you want to talk about it. Glance over at your friends. They're all staring at you with grins on their faces. Winter gives you a gleeful thumbs up. Oh, they think we're flirting. Little do they know. Look, I still think this is nuts, but being out of all of my options, being married to a total stranger isn't the worst. Which says something about how bad my situation is. Well, you wouldn't have to be married to a total stranger. We can fix the stranger part right now. How? I'll tell you everything you want to know. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. Simple as that. I'm an open book. Glances over at your birthday party, who are all waving and hooting loudly. But we might want to go somewhere more private, or I think your friends are going to keep distracting us. And if this bar has a pretty nice garden out back, why don't we step out there? I don't get the random crowd yelling noises, but okay. You didn't know any better. The busy noise from inside fades as you follow August into the quiet bar garden. I always forget how nice it is out here. It is nice, though it's a bit different from the gardens back home, which is Oxford. Like I mentioned before, we moved from London when my father got a position at the university. He's a professor of sociology there. Ooh, prestigious. Did you attend the family school? No, I was a rebel. I decided a business degree at Yale. So, you rebelled by going to Yale. Your parents must have been so disappointed. They do hate it that I live across an ocean now. I was going to come home, but then I got a job at Hammond Rye. Hang on. You didn't tell me you quit a job at Hammond Rye. Hammond Rye. Is that a play on Hammond Rye? Anyway. Why'd you give up on such a big deal job like that? My friend Jordan has a new business idea. Well, more of a non-profit. It's all about backing small businesses, supporting people who just need a little more help from the big investors are willing to provide. August lets out a sigh as the two of you take a seat at one of the tables. My bosses at Hammond thought I was insane to walk away from money and prestige and my company-sponsored work visa. Maybe I am. I think what you're doing is admirable. You know, you're the first person I've heard from who isn't Jordan. So, thanks. There are a lot of people out there who could use a hand, so I'm a fan of anyone willing to give them one. So, now you know why I need to stay in the country. I have a job to do. What about you? Who's August Holmes, really? I need more than just a backstory if I'm ever going to consider this crazy idea. Well, what do you want to know? I want to know what's your favorite food, cats or dogs, what kind of people are you attracted to? These are all very important questions. I want to go cats and dogs, but I'll go with attracted to. August seems a little startled. It's a big question. I suppose I'd say, they have to have a certain energy about them. So, it's not about looks? Let's just say it's more than looks, it's chemistry. Not that I've had much luck choosing partners so far. Okay, so that's one fact. Tell me more. Tell me, if we're going to get married, if we have to live together, right? Are you neat or messy? What kind of roommate are you? Oh, you wouldn't have any problems with me. I'm very tidy. Not persnickety about it, though. I lived with roommates before I moved into my current place. I always do the dishes on my day. Well, that's a relief to hear. I didn't want to be the only one picking socks up off the floor. Speaking of living together, that makes me think of something. Do you have a partner right now? No, I'm not dating anyone seriously right now. Why not? Because I haven't met the right person. Neither have I. Well, that would make it easier for the two of us. Wouldn't get awkward if either of us brought a date home. I get it. So, this would just be a marriage of convenience, right? That's the plan, yeah. So, you're not interested? He blinks in surprise. Oh, I mean, not that you're not very attractive, because you are, but what I mean to say is, you're just looking for a roommate and a friend. That's how I'm envisioning it, yes. So, if you're wondering, my last relationship ended badly, and very recently. Oof, what happened? I mean, you don't have to talk about it if you... It's alright. I merely mentioned quitting my job and my partner walked away. Yep, that'll do it. It's very quid pro quo relationship. I had money, and therefore I got love. Remove one, remove the other. That'll do it for a dude, yeah. Yikes. Wish I'd known that was the situation at the beginning, but you see why I'm not looking for a new relationship now. So, would that work for you? Would you live in a marriage without romance? I think... no romance in a fake mock relationship that we're hypothetically talking about right now. No, seriously though. I mean, I've gone this far in my life, right? Why not? No romance would be fine by me. That's a relief. But you're not sure relief is the expression you see on his face. I want you to know I wouldn't stand in the way of you dating anyone you'd like. You'd just have to keep it quiet while we're still married. Yeah, that's what people do, they cheat. Anyway, the garden lights cast shifting shadows across August's face as he stands. I should let you get back to your birthday celebrations. But I'll be at the bar for another hour if you decide this madness might work. As he heads back inside, you can't help but look after him, intrigued. So, there's more to the guy than I thought. A lot more. The bar is still buzzing with energy as you return to your friends just as they order another round. Come on, the night is young. Winter checks her phone with a frown. Actually, it's getting late. We should probably head out. Winter? What? You need your sleep, and we don't want to risk a flare-up. Winter. I'm not going to turn into a pumpkin at midnight. No, but you are my only sister. I've got to look out for you. If I had a flare-up without insurance, the medical bills would destroy my family. I can't let that happen. Your eyes drift to August, who's still at the bar. You guys call a lift. I'll be right there. Winter glances from you to August and winks. Take your time. Oh, now you want me to take my time. Heart pounding, you cross the room to August, noticing he's still nursing the same beer he was when you first got here. Oh, Sky. August clears his throat, nervously shifts on a stool. Have you made a decision about my offer? I'm gonna be honest with you, I still think it's ridiculous. So ridiculous it might work. Face it. We're both desperate, we're in extreme circumstances, and that calls for extreme solution. But marriage... it's temporary. I'm not Henry VIII. I'm not going to cut off your head when we're done. We'll just go our separate ways. Then I can walk away from this at any time. Free and clear. Does that mean you're in? What choice have I got? Well, I'm delighted you said yes. On that note, he locks eyes with you. You're almost afraid he's going to get down on one knee right here in the bar. But instead he sticks out his hand. Sky, do you take me to be your lawfully wedded husband? You take his hand and give it a firm shake. You can't believe you're about to do this, but I do. That's not how this works, but okay. Is there a chapter 2 for this stuff? Is it already out? Oh, chapter 2. Alright. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy, to like, share, and subscribe. Head down to the description, a few things to check out, ways you can join our community, things like that. Aside from that, leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts. I'll just say the following. I know there's quite a few of you who actually watch my content. You're outside of the States. So let me just, first and foremost, let me just confirm this, right? I'm sure a lot of you have seen little short videos on other apps. Anyway, yes, no, our health insurance in this country is absolutely atrocious. Just to give you guys, if you care, I myself have a chronic illness. Thanks, Pixelberry. I like being reminded of it. Anyway, it's not lupus. It's a lung disease, right? which kind of hit me a few years back really hard. And pretty much, like, I went from just being someone who, throughout most of my life, I was on asthma, right? And I had, like, inhalers and things like that. And there'd be some days that were good and wouldn't have flare ups, and some days that weren't bad, right? And eventually, at one point, I actually beat asthma. And I was off inhalers, and for a long time, I was fit and healthy and doing great. But eventually I hit a health wall, and then I started to regress and needed my inhaler and all that other stuff. Long story short is I went from working at one of the most powerful and successful companies in the world to being someone who had to leave my job because of my illness. I had two insurances at the time. You still have to pay for those insurances, so do keep that in mind. And they still do not cover, even though they were two of the most purchased insurances in this country, and supposed to be the best. They weren't. You know, let's put it this way. I'm sure you know who Luigi is. So, yeah, no, they like to deny you a lot. They like to increase the cost, right? There's some people at pharmacies and whatnot, the pharmacists who have talked about how much the cost of a medication can be. And the minute you flash, I have this insurance, the cost actually skyrockets. It does not go down. You would think that it would go down. It doesn't. It kind of like balances itself. So the cost, just hypothetical, a cost without insurance is $500. A cost with insurance is $1,250, but your insurance will now suddenly cover $500, so you have to pay $750 out of pocket. That is one example that I have had to go through with my medication. So no, insurance does not actually lower the cost. You would think it would. Not always. And everybody who it's this myth that these young healthy people have, they, oh no, you should have insurance, it'll lower the cost. It's a myth for a lot of it. I don't think people realize that. So I'm a person who had to quit a very successful job. I was doing well. I was not a content creator, for the most part. I was like a hobby here and there. Long story short, I had to walk away from that, because the medical expenses were too much, and the medical expenses have increased to since then. Especially with the amount of medication that I've cycled through, the appointments, getting to be I guess, a guinea pig, right? Long story short is there is no job on the face of this planet that would be able to cover my medical expenses throughout the year, be able to cover normal bills, and the only assistance that I can get, because like I said, if you pay $500 a month for insurance, and then you pay increased rates for some medicines and decreased for some, sure, kind of finds a way to balance itself, but you're still paying thousands of dollars out of pocket. There's no way you can survive. That's why a lot of people are in medical debt. It's one of the biggest debts there is in the world, next to, like, student loans. Long story short is, um, yeah, no, there's no way. So I had to rely on government assistance to be able to cover my medical bills. And even to this day, some of the things still get denied, right? I can't get top tier health and insurance appointments, things like that. Um, but it's better than going infinitely in debt, your family going in debt and everything else. It's just a really screwed system. So if you go and work a job, you gain all that debt back. But then if you're not working a job, you're not gaining anywhere. It's screwed in this country. Like, if you have any questions or whatnot, I'll be glad to answer them down below. But my situation is not just one of, hey, you've got some rare disease or whatnot. No, there's a lot of people in this country, not just this country, but this world, that are dealing with that. So I figured I would touch on the subject, right? Since this is something that was brought up in this. I know people who do have lupus, even though I wanted to make a joke, because of if you ever watched House, right? It's not lupus. Uh, but no, I do have a friend that actually does have lupus. No, it is a very costly medical condition. I have a brother who has Behçet's disease. It's a very costly autoimmune disease. Um, yeah, no, these things are costly, and unfortunately, medical care. There was a time when doctors said do no harm, and then they always put the patients ahead of themselves. And there was a time when that was a good thing, and then doctors flipped, and they only care about money now. So, yeah, unfortunately. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Very much appreciated. Like I said, if you have any questions or whatnot, feel free to ask. But if you have any comments about the video, let me know. But thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.